Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful and memorable afternoon this is. So may I start my concluding remarks by thanking our host, the Swiss government, represented by State Secretary Mauro Della Ambrogio from the Swiss State Secretariat of Education, Research and Innovation. You did a great job in bringing us to Lugano, so such a beautiful town, and introducing many of us to a part of Switzerland which is perhaps less well known than the French and German-speaking cantons, yet with a history and tradition of its own. As you all know, as discussed now, HFSP is a program, very unique program for the promotion of basic frontier research based on really curiosity, okay? Especially risky projects in the life sciences with the mission of international collaboration between scientists from different disciplines in different countries and continents. Based on your great efforts, projects of HFSP have been very, very successful and appreciated very highly by international scientific societies all around the world. This wonderful afternoon also showed one of the unique characteristics of HFSP at its best, its international dimension. We heard from speakers from Japan, Switzerland, the US, Sweden, and Germany. So this will become yet more apparent tomorrow when you open the actual awardees meeting. But the discussion also demonstrated how willingness to take risks makes all the difference when it comes to crossing frontiers or boundaries of human knowledge. But it is even more than that. Listening to you, I realized that personality and an enduring enthusiasm for your particular field are the driving forces of creativity and of success in the arts as well as in the natural sciences and in space exploration. We all sense that sitting within a space shuttle when it takes off must feel like sitting on a bomb, okay? And yet there are individuals who overcome the fear by believing in the incredible, exciting goal which motivates such an endeavor. I can guess that the opportunity of seeing the blue planet may be sufficient to overcome the enormous challenges associated with a trip into space. An architect has to deal with many unknowns, including building materials, in the selection of which you, Mr. Botter, have been a pioneer. The architect also has to take into account the prerequisite of nature, the wishes of those commissioning the building, and foremost, the technology available. Taken together, only a very few architects in the world have the attributes to combine these in alchemy of the beautiful. And then the natural sciences. Working at this particular frontier requires the selection of an important subject, a novel field of research, or a new view on an existing question, enormous patience and faith in oneself, not to speak of many. Combined with the challenges of running a major university, these tasks border on the superhuman. It was a rare, if not unique, event to have seen and heard 3 personalities who had mastered all these challenges and can talk about them eloquently. Many thanks therefore to Dr. Hockfield, Dr. Nicolier, and Dr. Wiesel, as well as Dr. Adams, let's see, okay, Adam Smith, for your immense contribution. It is true that Dr. Smith, as chief executive of Nobel Media, has made experience in such discussions with top personalities. Nevertheless, the way in which he has sensitive to individual experiences in each of the discussants could not have been more professional. We clearly asked the right person to moderate this frontier discussion. All this makes an easy transition to what we will conclude the agenda of this afternoon, the award ceremony for HFSP's annual Nakasone Award. The idea to establish the Nakasone Award was conceived in Tokyo in July 2009 during the 20th anniversary celebrations of HFSP in the presence of former Prime Minister Nakasone. The award is designed to honor scientists who have undertaken frontier moving research in biology encompassing conceptual and experimental aspects of technological breakthroughs. The winner for the year 2014, the 5th recipient of the Nakasone Award, is Professor Yuri Alon of the Weizmann Institute of Science, Rehovot in Israel. Professor Alon, whom I would like to welcome wholeheartedly this afternoon, is full professor at the Department of Cell Biology at the Weizmann Institute. His achievement will be outlined in greater detail by Professor Wienecker prior to the Nakasone lecture at the opening of the HFSP awardees meeting on Monday morning. Suffice to say that he is honored for his unique and special contribution to the understanding of protein networks in living cells. Protein networks are complex systems consisting of thousands of components which interface with each other extremely specifically, defining so far any reasonable approaches to understanding them. Protein networks appeared impenetrable. Professor Alon, however, showed that they can be reduced to simpler building blocks, which he called network motifs. Some of them are found not only in bacterial cells, but in higher biological systems as well. So he has cataloged them and found them to be ubiquitous. Alon approached these questions not only theoretically by inventing new and innovative algorithms, but also by developing exquisite measuring systems in order to be able to test and prove his theoretical predictions in a precise and quantitative manner. Many would call Alan the father of systems biology because he discovered general principles which finally opened the field to detailed analysis. So systems biology today is one of the fastest growing area in modern biology. May I now ask Professor Allen to step onto the stage to receive the Nakasone Award medal and the certificate. I would like to ask also Mr. Nakasone to hand him this certificate and also Nakasone medal. Please. Okay. I have one other important surprising announcement to make. Following the conclusion of negotiation between Singapore and Human Frontier Science Program Organization on the eve of this meeting, we are now ready to welcome Singapore as a new member of the program. I would add Professor Winokur played a very, very important role for this success. Okay, so the board already approved Singapore's membership in March of this year, pending signature of the Memorandum of Understanding. The draft has now been agreed by both parties, and we are ready to sign. I invite Dr. Lim, chairman of ASTAR, to sign on behalf of Singapore prior to a further signing ceremony in Singapore. I will then sign on behalf of HFSPO. I would like to invite you to welcome Singapore with a round of applause.
Let me say maybe that it's not trivial to become a member of HFSP. There were two waves. The first wave was G7 and Switzerland, and then there was a second wave, India, Norway, Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. So for a long time we were 14, and now this year, 2014, it's Singapore. Singapore had to demonstrate to all of us and to the scientific community its high scientific standards. And of course, as you know, that was not so difficult for Singapore. It has all these scientific standards. And it's only basically this morning that all the associated parties, all the members of the Board of Trustees agreed with the Memorandum of Understanding. This is why we could not print it out into the program, but now we are ready for the ceremony. It will take now. It will take place now. But the Professor Lau Tek Seng, the CEO of the National Research Foundation of Singapore, which is associated with the Prime Minister's office in Singapore, will sign this in my presence in Singapore on July 14th. So from then on, Singapore is a member, and from then on, it has the right to participate, to send board members, for example. And when I was mentioning this to Mr. Lim, he is we should say, is the director of ASTAR, which is the president, which is the biggest research organization in Singapore. He said, "Well, we already know the names of the people, so they are well prepared to participate in all the endeavors of HFSP. Congratulations also from my side. Very happy, and please go forward in signing this, and then I will take these papers and bring them to Professor Lau in Singapore. Thank you very much. Nobutaka, you can also sign in Japanese letters. That's permitted.